All right, so what's going on? So I want to talk about 2K's checks and balances, right? Where it was basically in 2K there are certain things that could be done that you could just totally use and abuse, where you could just brutalize the computer every time you match up with them, right? Whether you're playing on Hall of Fame or any other mode, but anytime you play them, you could just constantly abuse certain methods or certain plays or the posts or whatever the case may be. So what they do is they have like a trump card sometimes, which is the check, which is the check and balance. They have the trump card where they just arbitrarily deny whatever you're trying to do, but they do it in a way where they're covertly cheating you rather than overtly and cheating you in a way that looks raggedy and just obvious that the game is fucking you over, right? So now right here I want to talk about the post play, right? So now in 2K, what you could use to constantly brutalize the computer is the post spin. If you have a larger player that's a dominant post scorer, you could use a post fade, but the post spin is a lot easier to just constantly just fuck computer over back to back to back, especially if you're being guarded by someone that does not have great post defense, which this is the perfect scenario for me being a point guard with a post game, because most point guards, what's the issue? They don't have post defense like that. So now I abuse this on the computer a lot. I abuse a few other things, but this is one of the things that I do a lot on the computer is the post spin to get to the basket. So, and what 2K does, here's the check and balance, because I can do this all day, but then there are certain moments where if I go for the post spin into the layup, I'm forced to stop and go into like a weird shooting animation. And every time it happens, the computer blocks the ball from the rear end. No homo. The computer blocks the ball from the rear end. So right here, boom, he actually didn't even touch the ball, so this is actually a foul. But now let's look at it. So I go for it. Now let's think about the logic behind this, right? I go for it, and instead of my man going for his 1-2 step and then going into the layup, he's forced to stop on a dime, gather his feet, and then he just flails his arms up. He just throws his arms up, and computer gets the block, right? Uh, let's look at it even closer, because that, like I said earlier, he didn't even touch the ball. This is actually a foul, but it's meant to be a block. So it's a canned animation that is meant to represent a block, right? You see what I'm saying? So I'm locked into this moment right here where I'm not allowed to go for the 1-2 and then boom. Even if I tried the Euro, they have I forget exactly how it goes. I did other videos on it. They have a check and balance for that also, but it always results in you going for like a shitty side attempt or a computer just blocking the ball. And it's all arbitrary. They're literally just stopping my man from proceeding to the basket. Once again, when you go for a post spin, you go for the one to get your layup off. Look, there's no one in front of him. Typically, what any reasonable person would do, and usually what I always do, is I go for the 1-2 step and then get the layup off. But right here, boom, that forced me to stop because there's a predetermined outcome. There's a scripted canned outcome that operates as a check and balance, so that my man is not able to execute what I'm obviously attempting to do. This is 2K's way of cheating, right? When they cheat you, it's meant to look normal. It's meant to look like something that's a normal, regular part of the game, because obviously you don't want it to look too ugly or too raggedy or obvious that they're fucking you over. So they do it in a way where it flies under the radar. The average player is not going to understand. Even me explaining this right now, the average person will look at this and not really get what I'm trying to say. So imagine if they're playing and they get their shot blocked, they're not thinking, man, how come my man didn't just go for the 1-2 step to the basket? Why is it that every time this type of movement happen, I get my shot blocked 100% of the time? Because it's a canned animation. It's a scripted element where it's operated, is used as a check and balance to prevent you from abusing certain elements or components of the game. That the developers, the programmers, the coders, they understand what can be used to just totally stomp the computer out all day. So they have to create something to override your ability to just use that relentlessly over and over and over again, right? That's the point. But that'll do it for this video. Peace.